Hey, Bob.
Tim,
could you pour me a cup of that new Mickey's 90th birthday blend?
Isn't this the best coffee you've... I mean, this might be their best. I gave my wife a little bit of this. Mm-hmm. She said it's now her favorite, and she loves all the Disney blends, but she's saying this Mickey's 90th anniversary, her favorite.
That's because it was highly crafted by Chris DeMezzo and our friends over there at Joffrey's Coffee. Here's the best part about the coffee, Bob.
Yes.
20% off. What's the code?
Looper 2018. That's good for a little while, so don't hesitate. Get on that. Looper 2018 for 20% off.
Stock up for the holidays. Stock up for the cold weather that's coming.
Order today at Joffreys.com.
Please stand clear of the doors. Por favor, manténganse alejado de las puertas.
Welcome aboard the Walt Disney World local monorail system. During the trip, we ask that you remain seated and please refrain from smoking while on board. Thank you. Our next stop is the towering Contemporary Resort Hotel.
Hey, everyone. Thanks for joining us. I'm Tim Scott.
I'm Bob Collar.
This is my favorite time of the month. Bob, if you know anybody that needs Disney Vacation Club information, this is the show they should listen to.
Absolutely. We've got our DVC pros on the line this evening. Can't believe this is a rare occurrence anymore. It seems like over the summer we've all had so many crazy things going on. But we're all here today, Tim.
The whole gang.
Introduce everybody.
Let's go around the horn. Let's start off. Our leadoff batter tonight.
Catcher.
That's right. Emily Hansa Hicks, how are you doing?
I am so good. Happy to be here.
We are just as happy to have you here. Also joining us, Miss Rebecca Toon.
Hey, howdy, hey. How's it going, guys?
Excellent.
Better now that we're all here.
I actually boated here tonight home from work. Coming down like cats and dogs.
My goodness.
I was so stressed. I had like about a quarter of an inch of Joffrey's left in my mug that had been sitting there for roughly 9.5 hours, and I drank it.
You do what you have to do.
And it's still good.
You know what? It was still good.
Still good. Yes, it is.
We've talked about that before. And someone who's nowhere near all that rain and the hurricane, Mr. Brad Coates.
We tomorrow... We've been in a heat wave, and tomorrow it's supposed to be 58 degrees.
Oh.
So I won't be dealing with rain. I'll be breaking out my parka.
Welcome to fall.
Yes.
Yeah, really.
Right? I think it came in quickly. Like, just like summer one day, fall the next.
Overnight, it's fall.
Yeah.
My goodness.
Wow. And then also
kind of
joining
the way
us.
Disney decorates.
That's true. True. Also joining us, Mr. Joe Quattrochi.
Aloha, Looper Nation. How's everybody doing tonight?
Oh, here we go.
Oh, man.
Rub it in, Joe. Rub it in.
Somebody's been to Alani.
I just wonder which one of... Is it you or Bob that's going to explode like a volcano before it's all over?
Before we're done, I got a little something. We're going to start the show. Hey, everybody settle down.
Put the finger down. Put the finger down, Bob.
Don't make me get the timeout chair. I'm telling you. We are gonna talk to Joe about his Alani trip. Not this show, but we're gonna because we're gonna have a special guest on with Joe for the Alani trip. So we're gonna be doing that soon.
Yes.
So anyway, Tim, who's in the batter's box since you started down this road? Who's in the batter's box for the first story?
We're just going to go ahead and start with Joe. Joe's going to lead us off. What do you got, Joe? What's going on?
Mahalo, Tim. So first of all,
man, really? Is this what we're going to do?
This is what I picked up on my.
Wearing a grass skirt and a coconut bra. I don't want to hear
it. I am eating some macadamia nuts right now. But anyway, so first
story
comes from our friends over at DVCinfo.com, and dates have been announced for Disney's After Hours Magic Kingdom events, which are coming for late 2018 and early 2019. So as we all know, you got to kind of plan ahead for these events. DVC owners can benefit from reduced admission prices. Disney After Hours is basically a paid version of Disney's DVC's Moonlight Magic. The events offer 3 hours of access to the Magic Kingdom's most popular attractions and guaranteed lighter than normal crowds. And I say that with quotations because sometimes it's not.
Right.
Featured attractions include Big Thunder Mountain Railroad, Seven Dwarfs Mine Train, Space Mountain, and Splash Mountain. Complimentary popcorn, ice cream novelties, as known as Mickey bars, and select beverages, the Sonny and Coke products, are also included. The new dates and times are as follows. So this is what they have scheduled. December 3rd will be from 10 p.m. to 1 a.m. December 10th from 10 p.m. also to 1 a.m. January 7th will be from 8 p.m. to 11 p.m. January 17th, 8 p.m. to 11 p.m. January 24th, January 28th, February 7th, and February 28th, all are 8 p.m. to 11 p.m. February 14th will be 9 p.m. to midnight, and March 7th will be 9 p.m. to midnight as well. Attendees can either enter the park as early as 7 p.m. Without need for an additional Magic Kingdom admission media, so you don't have to use that extra day on your park hopper if you're not an AP holder. The retail price for each of these dates is $125 per person plus tax, and that's ages 3 and up, when purchased in advance, or $129 per person on the day of the event. DVC members and annual pass holders receive a discounted price of $95 per person for the advanced purchase. Members must log in with a Disney online account linked to their DVC ownership in order to see the discounted pricing. So I've said this before in the past. This is something that, if you're a DVC owner or an annual pass holder, that $95 discount might not be a bad deal to essentially, go commando for 3 hours in the park with little. And I'm not saying I really use that. I don't really play, but you know what I mean. So,
but here's my question. Here's my question about this. This is these are all way off season typically.
The dates you mean?
Yeah, all the dates are way off season for the most part. Wouldn't you be able to? I mean, shouldn't the crowds be light? Is what I'm saying.
I mean, I would argue that there is no such thing as off season anymore.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean that's just. I think you might see lighter crowds, but I mean, what isn't January 7th? Isn't that in or around Marathon Weekend, Joe?
Checking that right now. Literally, I was playing on my calendar.
It is.
Yeah. I mean,
June
so that's definitely
January
not off time. January 9th, so that's definitely not downtime.
Sure.
You're covering Valentine's Day, which, if you're local, that would be a wonderful date. So in March, you start looking at, spring break for certain areas of the country. So, I mean, my question are those 4 featured attractions that you mentioned, are those the only 4 that are open, or are those just the big ones that they're mentioning because those are the ones people want to ride?
It has to be the big ones.
Yeah,
I'm not paying $95 to go ride those 4 rides.
No, I think they want you to know that those will be open.
Those are the feature.
Time when they weren't. Was there a time when those big rides were closed and people were really indignant about it? But I think you're right in saying the crowds might be lighter and that it's a slower time. But I don't think I really believe there's not much of an off season anymore.
I'll tell you what. January 9th, I arrive for Marathon Weekend that Wednesday in the morning. If I can just get the credit card number, Bob and Tim, for Resort Loop, I will go to the event that night, and I will report back that night if the crowds are lesser than normal.
Oh, thank goodness. Thank goodness.
I've got some of the March dates.
One
niner.
You're a niner in there.
I
And if
seriously
they decline it, just keep trying.
I seriously might actually do this event because I actually am going to be there at night. My friends Brittany and Justin will be there. Jen actually won't even be in Disney yet. She's still working, so I pretty much could be kind of hanging out. I'm not running on Thursday, so I might actually try to do this party just to see actually what it's like and see if it's worth the price or not. So
I would try it once.
If I do it, I'll definitely let everybody know.
Please do.
It's what is that, like $30-something an hour? If you get in for the $95 per person on the typical.
For what I just paid for a massage at Alani, this is a bargain.
Oh man!
I like how you're working on Alani.
Got it.
Conversation.
I will say, all these.
The reality is, this would not be worth the $95 if it weren't for the included snacks and stuff. I mean, to me, because they offer the free time, and picking there have to be certain dates, but they offer them for free to DVC.
Exactly, and I'm just thinking
3 hours.
A lot of DVC members are annual pass holders, so are they going to want to shell out an extra $95 for 3 hours? I mean, I don't know. I think it's a great option to have. I'm just curious as to how many people are buying it.
I might just ride Space Mountain over and over.
It's going to be people there's going to be people like Joe that are going to be, as far as DVC, I think they're going to look at, and if they're already going to be there, then they may consider it. Otherwise,
and Brad, you guys know that the DVC events are so hard to get. Or if you happen to be down there, they're like really hard to get. I mean, it's
I've never gotten one. I keep trying.
I've gotten it once a couple of years ago when I got one at Animal Kingdom before Pandora, and it was still hard to get. So, and they've gotten even worse since then.
And does this work like the Halloween parties and the Christmas parties where you get like a wristband?
I don't know.
We'll report back after the
report back in January.
I will say
I'm sure that's it, because this one's not just for DVC, so it wouldn't be your card.
Right.
Yeah, I'm sure it'll be a wristband.
Yeah.
I have to check I have to check the dates again, but theoretically, we will be between annual passes, and I'm still waffling as to whether or not we should get them for the before and after our cruise in March for the couple days we'll be there. And so I don't know that it's worth it, because our next scheduled trip is not till the next January. So this kind of thing would be a good bridge if you were just going to be in town for like a 3 or 4 day trip and you just wanted to get a little park fix in.
Yeah, sure.
So, yeah, I mean, it would be cheaper to buy family of 5 tickets to this than it would be to buy, basically, it would be the price of one annual pass.
Wow, I just, like you said, a family of 5, and I just did the math on that. I was like, $500 for 3 hours.
Yeah.
But I guess
4 hours, technically, if you go in at 7. But
this could definitely appeal to like couples that maybe do some dinner at one of the Magic Kingdom resorts. You put the kids in a daycare, Emily, for the night. In the kids club, or get a sitter, and then you go to the park for a couple hours.
Yeah, look at there's the February 14th date. I mean, if you're a couple, go up to the Grand Floridian for dinner or something like that, and then pop over there for 9 to midnight park time. That'd be an amazing date.
Are you inviting me? Rebecca?
Yes, Joe. Would you like to go on a date?
Oh my!
Yeah, why not?
Let me throw this at you, though, guys, because we all know now that Disney has decided that they're going to do the tiered pricing for everything. So just to give you an idea, that December 3rd, December 10th, those are considered their premium, I believe. No, those are the regular dates, and the price is for an all-day ticket. All day is $119. Now you don't start.
That's the regular price.
That's now the regular price because of this tiered system. Now you jump over to January. Some of the dates in January and February are going to be a little bit better for you. But again, these are all day tickets. So a 1 day ticket on that February 14th, Rebecca, is $109. So if you're being charged, how much is that value worth?
How much ice cream can you eat?
I think.
And that's a great point.
Drinks.
That's a great point. And I again, 95. I mean, you're looking. Yeah, that's a wonderful point.
You give me those prices, half of what they are. That's a heck of a deal.
Absolutely,
that's a great deal. When they're more expensive for 3 hours than an entire day at the parks, that I'm not so sure. I'm just saying. Yeah. I'm just, how cheap I am.
I appreciate your cheapness.
Persuaded me, Bob. I'm not going to do it.
I think and I don't know what the cap is on how many people they let in. So I think that comes into consideration too. Like if you could go and, as Joe said, ride Space Mountain and just kind of twirl your finger every time you came into the end station to ride again. Okay, maybe I'd consider it. But if you're still experiencing lines, I'd have to think long and hard about it.
Right.
So, yeah.
Right. I mean, if it gives you that VIP experience like I had it with that one I did at Animal Kingdom, when you're just walking on, I'll pay the $95.
Yeah.
Without the ice cream. Just to walk on rides. Have a good time.
Keep your Mickey Mouse.
So since we're talking about the tickets, are we ready for my rant? You guys ready?
Uh-oh.
So hang on, let me put my seatbelt on.
Tim, hit it. Hit it, Tim.
Hit it.
Okay.
No.
No, not yet. I'm going to save it. So, Rebecca, why don't you read story?
I should say lift. Am I supposed to be sitting in a timeout chair right now?
Face the wall and read the story.
You're allowed to participate again. You're allowed to participate. All right.
Go ahead, Rebecca.
What's going on with Disney's Hilton Head, Rebecca?
I thought you were going to rant. I was so pumped.
I'm saving it. I'm going to save it.
All right, fine. I will tell you about Disney's Hilton Head Island, which I assume was just a ploy to get me to tell you that I'll be going to Disney's Hilton Head Island in November. We spent a night there last year in November and had such a wonderful time that I'm actually going to see friends in Savannah in early November, and so I'm sort of tacking on a couple of nights at Hilton Head, Disney's Hilton Head Island Resort during that time. So I'm really excited about that. I'm really excited to report that Disney's Hilton Head Island Resort reopened on the 19th of September. The resort did close ahead of landfall of Hurricane Florence earlier this month, which you may remember was sort of all over the map about where it was going to take landfall. Fortunately, Hilton Head escaped any major impact from Florence. Beaufort County, South Carolina, which is where the resort is located, was expected to receive only about an inch of rain through the weekend, along with winds topping out at about 30 miles an hour. So although the area wasn't subject to direct and mandatory evacuation, many chose to leave on their own. But by Sunday evening, there were reports of traffic delays along I-95 as evacuees attempted to return home. And it's interesting because, like I said, we've had a ton of rain here in Connecticut today, and 95 is actually closed a couple of places because of flooding. And so I just got like the tiniest taste of what these guys must have gone through. And it's terrifying. And so certainly we send out all of our best wishes and good vibes to those people who live in South Carolina and the surrounding areas and anyone affected by Florence, because water is scary, guys.
Oh, it is.
That's when you drink tequila. It was. But anyway, so the resort itself didn't suffer any damage, and they are reopened and ready for business. And so I'm excited to be visiting them in November.
Very good.
Now, I do have a question for Emily. And probably Brad, but had this resort been affected by the hurricane, would this have caused dues to go up in the subsequent years to repair or replace anything that had been damaged? Is that how that works?
Well, it can, but that's why they have insurance. That's the balance.
I see. Okay.
Whether they have insurance for those things, but yes, absolutely. The upkeep that creates a higher expense for the location is going to end up being made up in the dues.
And would it only be for that specific resort, or would it have been across the board?
No, that's why you have different rates for different resorts.
Yeah,
just with that resort. I'm sorry. Yeah, I'm going to let you. You're the pro at this stuff. But
No, you're right. You're absolutely right.
Yeah, just that resort.
And I think we talked about that on a couple episodes back when we were talking about, I think, Matthew, right?
Mm-hmm.
And we kind of got into that, but the insurance, obviously insurance has deductibles, so it's not just a free ride, you know what I mean? But it isn't as bad of an impact as, say, not having insurance and having to do all the repairs without that.
Interesting. Okay.
Yeah.
Interesting. Yeah. So I guess that's something to consider depending on where you buy.
Mm-hmm. That's true of Vero too. You have to be, those off-site hotels that are freestanding do get a lot more wear and tear from the ocean, and that's why you'll see Vero and Hilton Head, their dues are the highest, and or they may not be the highest, but they're up there. I think they are close to the highest.
Yeah, they are.
And then and that also affects their sale price, their resale price, because people do consider the fact that the bulk of your payments will be the maintenance fees. So the point cost on Hilton Head and Vero is lower as well.
Okay, cool.
Interesting. All right, Brad, what do you have?
Well, I have something that I honestly, until we were setting up the notes for the show, I had not heard about. Usually I hear about these things, but this one snuck by me. In the Disney Parks blog, they had an article talking about a exciting anniversary coming up for Tim Burton's The Nightmare Before Christmas. It's going to celebrate its 25th anniversary, and Disney is going to celebrate it with a spectacular concert event in Hollywood at the Hollywood Bowl. Disney Vacation Club members may book an exclusive VIP package as part of your membership magic. Let me just read to you some of the specifics on it. The Nightmare Before Christmas in Concert Live to Film event at Southern California's famed Hollywood Bowl will take place on October 26th and 27th at 8 p.m., pairing the film with a live musical score performed by the Hollywood Bowl Orchestra. State-of-the-art projection mapping will transform the iconic facade of the Hollywood Bowl into an ever-evolving extension of the film and of the music. It's going to feature live performances by stars from the film, including Catherine O'Hara as Sally, Ken Page as Oogie Boogie, and Disney legend Danny Elfman as Jack Skellington. That ought to be cool. Early arrivals will find the legendary venue transformed into Halloween Town, with pre-show activities ranging from photo opportunities to trick-or-treating stations to a costume contest, in which Tim Burton-inspired costumes are highly encouraged. So, but everybody's sitting down now, right?
Yes, hit us.
Sounds good, doesn't it?
Sounds like fun.
I'm in. Right up until now, me and Bob, we were in. Now we're not going.
Right.
The $1,200 plus fees. Disney Vacation Club member before $300 per person includes premium box seating, 4 passes to an invitation-only after-party hosted by the concert's producer, and 4 commemorative items signed by Danny Elfman. Now that price is the special package, but what I didn't see in this article is if there must be other packages that aren't the premium package that you can get to go see the show, but I don't know what those prices are. So, but yeah, for that really cool package for DVC members, you basically, let me see, do I buy more points or do I go to a one-day event? I'm thinking I buy more points.
Wow,
good.
That is great. Actually, I'm looking at Ticketmaster right now, Brad. The only tickets I see are $300 each.
Oh my God!
Wow,
sounds great. So
I'm sort of going back through it just to see if there's any others.
Well, maybe the others
crazy.
Are but yeah, I mean,
well, keep in mind this is at the Hollywood Bowl, not at any of the Disney parks. So
also, guys, don't get too excited because there is a 10-ticket limit for this event.
Oh,
dang it!
That's always the way.
Well, never mind. We're going now then.
We were going to have a looper meet there, but forget it.
Nah, it's out the window now.
We couldn't just pick 10 of you to go.
Do you ever have one of those moments where something is quoted to you and you're just like, but why?
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean,
and you really can't say, like, you have no other answer except to say, but why?
Well, what the key will be, the 4 passes to an invitation-only after-party. Is that going to be with the famous actors? Is that with Tim Burton showing up? I mean, are they creating an Adventure by Disney kind of an experience out of it? If they're not, I'm in line to want my money back for $300 a person.
Okay, I'm gonna backtrack a little bit and just ask this question: what is it that would make this? What was it that you said that would actually make this worth $300 for you?
If it was the kind of Adventures by Disney kind of over the top experience where Tim Burton, you'd actually get to meet him in the after party, you'd actually get to meet the actors. They were providing a meal back there, that kind of thing. The 4 commemorative items signed by Danny Elfman. Well, if those are rubber
that makes sense.
Fridge magnets, then no. But if there's something really cool, maybe.
Okay, so I'm gonna back off. I'm actually gonna correct what I just said, because when I click through the link on the DVC, it only wants to show you those $300 per person tickets. So if you actually back completely out of it and go to just Ticketmaster and Google the show itself at Hollywood Bowl, the tickets start in the way back at $55.
Okay, that makes sense.
You can see the show for $55.
Okay.
All right.
We're back on, Bob. Let's go.
That's too
Okay, fine. It's fine.
Here's okay.
It's fine.
For $300 a person, I get to go to Danny Elfman's house and take 4 commemorative items that I want.
No, I don't like that. I like this. That won't fit my house.
And he has to bring them over to my house.
Yes.
And Danny Elfman outlives me.
Clear everything to the side. We got to make room for the couch.
Look, I got an Emmy. Woo!
Yeah.
$1,200. $1,200, guys. Does anybody roughly know how many points you could buy for $1,200?
I better meet Jenna Elfman.
Yeah, let's see. Be what?
10 points?
60 or 6?
Yeah.
I mean, I'm just saying.
Right.
I'd rather have 10
Depends on the resort, right?
Sure. It depends on the resort, but the thing about it is it's still points.
Right.
1,200. I mean,
there's lots of things that we spend.
Other things we do for $1,200.
There's lots of things with Disney that we spend more than we should.
Well, that's true.
But it's got to ring the bell. It's got to have a real, value to it.
And Nightmare Before Christmas has an absolute cult following. I mean, there is a huge.
The tickets are going to sell out.
They are. Absolutely. I mean, people would love to see that. I'm not denying that it will sell out. It's not my thing.
If anybody out there goes, let us know how it is.
Yeah.
And what's all included. That I want to hear about.
And pictures, please.
That's right.
Absolutely.
Because I kind of assume if you're going to spend $1,200 for a group of 4 people to go to this, you're going to dress up.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking too.
And I'm going to need to
behind the
see
scenes
the
after party.
costumes.
Yeah.
I'm reaching out to one of our loopers that is in California. Cal, go ahead and go ahead and let us know how that goes.
Yes,
I'm sure Cal will be there.
Wait, our Californian looper is named Cal? Because that's
We
very
do.
appropriate.
We do.
How about that? How about that?
Love it.
Emily, what do you got going on?
All right. Well, I'm just bringing the boring stuff to you every time. But
Love your boring stuff, Emily.
But I kind of like it.
People love numbers.
Right, there you go. Well, I've got some numbers for you. And they're from, they're all courtesy of Will Lovato at DVCnews.com, and who seems to do a lot of the numbers reporting over there. And just the first thing, I think we talked maybe last month about the slump in sales, but direct sales have rebounded in August. They rose almost 18% over the prior month. They're comparable at this point to the average point sales this year are comparable now to the first 8 months of 2017. Year over year, they're still down, but they're still, they are getting sort of closer. And then in related news, 3 out of 4, or 3/4 of the Copper Creek declared points are in DVC inventory at this point. So DVC declared 12 more vacation homes for DVC inventory on September 20th, which included 2 cabins, a dedicated 1-bedroom, 6 dedicated 2-bedrooms, 3 lock-off 2-bedrooms, and those are all in the 6th floor wing of the lodge at Copper Creek, or otherwise known Old Fashioned Wilderness Lodge. And for those of you who are sort of like, what in the world does that mean? DVC has to declare the points before they can sell the points. And once they declare the points, they're then available for DVC inventory booking. So if the points aren't declared, they're Disney's points and they can do whatever they want with them, which can include providing you sort of an incentive stay if you're negotiating for a purchase. Not that you really negotiate, but sometimes they can make magic happen as far as you staying in your new home resort as a courtesy, the first booking, even when the points aren't available in the regular inventory. and they may be pulling those out of undeclared inventory rather than the DVC inventory. So at this point, 123 out of 184 of the units are declared. And so they have that, the quantity that they just declared is worth approximately 2 months of sales. So we could look to see them possibly declaring some more units in, let's see, what is this? This is the end of September. So sometime maybe in December, depending on how sales go the next couple months. And then at that point, I mean, we're getting really close to the whole place
Closing
being
it out,
declared.
selling out.
Yep. And of course, there's always, I think there's always a 5% Disney holding or something like that. But I can't remember exactly how many they don't declare at the resort. But I would say that they're getting close to steadily selling this baby out.
Wow. Very good.
It's also a good time to try to book there because the points won't have been sold yet, but the inventory will be declared.
Oh. There's a tip.
All right. Very good.
Great.
So,
See, that wasn't boring at all, Emily.
But they're still the average sales were down, but it looks like they're coming back up.
They're rebounding back up.
Anybody have any guesses as to what that attributes to?
I think some people are waiting to make a purchase for the new resort. I've heard more than one person that I've talked to recently say that if they're going to do an add-on, they're going to add on it at the new one for the maximum amount of years.
Riviera?
Yeah. So Copper Creek is competitive with that as far as the years on the contract if you're looking for longevity. Yeah. But I think some people may be waiting. I love Wilderness Lodge, but Wilderness Lodge is not on the Resort Loop.
Right.
So, I mean, it sort of is, but you know what I mean? It's like a little bit more of a...
It's not on the monorail Resort Loop. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, exactly. Like you have to take
it's
a
a little
bus or a
off.
boat.
Yeah, it's a little low. To be honest with you, staying over there, and this is weird because it's closer, but in some, just because I like Animal Kingdom better, I'd rather stay in Animal Kingdom than Wilderness Lodge because they're both kind of off the beaten path.
Yes, yes.
And
I would never pick between those beautiful children, Animal Kingdom and Wilderness Lodge. but yeah, I think your point stands. Like you have Animal Kingdom has a little bit more of its own attraction.
Yes.
With the savannas.
I just want you to know, you Grand Floridian types can pick on us Animal Kingdom. We're going to turn our animals loose on your resort, and they're going to eat you.
Can't we all just get along? Can't we all just listen?
Don't even bother to show up, okay?
If we can't get along in Looper Nation, there is no hope for humanity.
That's right.
That's true.
By the way, I made some new friends that hopefully will listen to this show, and so shout out to the Quintons. And I told them, I had to tell them, I promise I'm not really that much of a snob in real life. I might stand at All-Star if somebody paid me.
Well, speaking of which, real quick, I got a quick story. I got a shipment from Joffrey's, and my mailman hands me the box, and he says, is that Joffrey's coffee? And I said, yes, it is. And he says, oh my gosh, we love that. That's the coffee at Disney World, isn't it? And I said, yeah, it's fantastic. I said, do you listen to any podcast? And he's like, my wife does. I said, hold on a second. And I got him a pin. He got a highly coveted pin. So if my mailman's listening, how you doing?
Here's to the mail people.
There you go.
And the podcast you listen to while you're delivering our mail.
There you go.
That's really awesome.
Yeah, so kind of fun. Tim, is that all we got?
Joe has one more thing for us.
Oh, Joe,
one more
again.
I was told not to talk the whole show.
Hey, Joe.
Cut off.
Yes.
Aloha.
Aloha.
Wow.
Mahalo.
No, you're supposed to say mahalo. Very good.
So my last story here is, and if Looper Nation's been listening over the last 4 or 5 years, Resort Loop loves. What do we love, Bob?
Sweepstakes.
There you go. That's right. Love some sweepstakes.
Well done. Good job, Bob.
So according to DisneyVacationClub.com, Disney Vacation Club is holding a sweepstakes in conjunction with watching a Disney-produced quote-unquote behind-the-scenes video. DVCBehindTheMagic.com takes you to the sweepstakes page where you need to be a DVC member or register for the sweepstakes. So you can be either or. Once you have registered, you will be able to watch the video. And the video is self-described as an on-demand webcast hosted by Sabrina Soto. I don't know who that is. Watch to go behind the scenes of the latest attractions, experiences, and magic of Disney parks. Plus, after the webcast, you can enter for your chance to win a 5-night Walt Disney World Resort vacation. You need to watch the 27-minute video before you can enter the sweepstakes. And has anybody here done this where you've actually sat there and watched the 27-minute video?
I started watching it. Well, in researching the stories, in researching, what you do is you go in, if you're not a DVC member, you do go in, you register, you give them your name, address, phone number, email, DNA sample,
credit card number, social security number.
Right. And you have to watch this video to actually enter the sweepstakes. And you cannot skip ahead in the video. It has to play in real time. So I may or may not have walked away for a few minutes and came back. But it looks like it's a very well produced video. So I'm actually going to go back and watch the whole thing. They do a little bit of behind the scenes thing. You get to meet some Imagineers and maybe see a few things here and there. But then once the video's done playing, you can hit enter and you're entered in the sweepstakes.
And Sabrina Soto is an HGTV TV personality. Just for those of you who are too lazy to Google it.
I don't watch HGTV, so. But if anybody...
Are you saying HD TV or HG?
HG TV. I do have cable.
It can be both.
But I guess if anybody out there is looking for a little Disney magic while they're sitting at their desk at work, this is 27 minutes you could escape reality.
And, it's a DVC BehindTheMagic.com.
And also, how cool would it be for somebody from Loop Nation?
Somebody is going to win this.
Yes,
somebody's got to win something from DVC.
There you go.
I win every time I listen to this podcast.
Oh, wow. Look at that.
Wow. Rebecca, you're already on the show. You're already on the show. You don't have
You win the lollipop. You win the lollipop.
Time out now, please.
Wow.
Hey, guys, I just want you to know I was a little hurt and upset that you guys were just talking over me and not paying attention to my cool little comments and realize I was muted. So you can thank me for making the show shorter.
I'm just curious. Did you mute yourself or did Bob mute you?
Well,
oh my gosh!
I don't want to say on the air.
Oh, you poor thing.
But his initials are Bob Collar.
Oh, called out.
Uncle Bob Collar to you.
That's not true. I muted myself, Bob. You didn't.
You know. All right. So here. All right. You got me on laughing.
Now you wound them up.
Here we go.
Here we go.
It's the favorite time of this podcast.
It's time.
Everyone, pull up a seat.
Are you ready?
We're ready for the fact.
All right.
Pass the tequila.
Tim, hit the tones.
We're ready to go.
In 3, 2, 1.
So I hit on the tickets, right? We're talked about the tickets. This has nothing to do with the tickets. I just got back from my European IAAPA convention.
It's a lot of letters.
Nothing? Nobody was there?
I'd like to buy a vowel.
For you guys.
IAAPIA.
And our good friends over at Doppelmayr have informed everyone at the convention.
I'm so
settle
confused.
down. Are you going to let me finish? That's it. You know what? I'm not going to tell them. I'm not going to tell you.
Passing notes.
Anyway, they announced, Doppelmayr announced at the European IAAPA convention that the Walt Disney World gondola system will not have air conditioning. Have air conditioning.
What?
But will the gondoliers carry fans with them so while they're singing to us and rowing us?
I mean, I don't think that matters.
Canals.
Can you imagine when that thing breaks down and you're inside that car and you are roasting like a duck in a steamer, man?
It'll be just like the monorail.
Oh, it'll be worse.
I'm not going to rant about this. I lied. I'm going to let you guys rant about this because it's gonna revolve around, because that's going to be going over to the Riviera. How is that going to affect DVC at the Riviera if that's your mode of transportation other than the buses and the minivans? And you're going to be sitting in that hot air conditioned, non-air conditioned Skyliner, please. So how do y'all feel about that?
Oh,
that's just.
Wow, you guys don't know how to rant.
No, I just don't know how in the world that's gonna work. I mean, like I said, the biggest fear. It wouldn't bother me with buying at Riviera. If I was buying at Riviera, I wouldn't. Well, let me just say this: I wouldn't buy at any resort because of the gondolas, because there's not going to be enough people that it can transport for it to be a value. It's good. It's going to be less people transporting in that than on the monorail.
I agree.
It's just, it is. And so
you wouldn't buy because of them, or you wouldn't buy just because they have them?
I wouldn't go, well, they've got the gondola, so I'm going to, I got to check that out. No, I mean, great, it's there, wonderful, add it on. I'll ride it a couple times and then I'll be good. I'll hop on the bus. It'd be like being at Wilderness Lodge. I would just take the bus. But yeah, that's going to impact greatly, because in the end, you're going to have one mode of transportation, which is buses. And I guarantee you, the one time it breaks down and I'm inside that car, I will never upburn the thing down before I ride off. Me and Bob, we're coming down. We're going to bring our axes.
Can we envision? Here's the wavy video where we're envisioning the Reedy Creek Fire Department pulling up and the ladder going up to get people out of these things.
And here's this actually swaying in the breeze, and they're just trying to get people away. Hold on.
And let's take this a step further. Like, I'm thinking, okay, it's not that big of a deal because it's not always that hot. Like, it's not always that hot. There's certain times of day, certain seasons that are brutal. But here's my question, though. They have storms all the time. What's the storm situation? Like, do they go down every time there's a storm?
Just when there's wind and lightning.
Just like the boats over at
Magic Kingdom.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. Any of the waterways, they shut them down if there's a lightning storm.
And how fast can they clear it?
So what happens if there's a lightning storm and I don't know what the entire.
Imagine they'd run them with lightning.
Right, but what is the end-to-end travel time? And a storm can move in pretty quickly.
I also have something else to add too. A couple of things that nobody's really talking about on any of the podcasts or any of the articles that I've been reading is nobody's talked about people like they're saying, oh, the Skyliner is going to be great. It's going to add another mode of and it is. It's going to be another mode of transportation. We'll get some of the stress off the buses, but how many people out there have a fear of heights?
Me.
Number two is we've all ridden the monorails before. We've all ridden the buses. We know Walt Disney World is very accommodating to people with wheelchairs. Okay, so that's great. And I believe that these do it detached. It's kind of like at a ski resort. They can detach and redetach back on. But we've all been there at peak times when, you'll get 2, 3, 4, 5 wheelchairs, scooters, strollers. It's not just, people with disabilities. It's strollers and kids.
Yeah.
Is this going to be a fast way to get somewhere?
Yeah. Picture a haunted mansion.
Yeah, I mean,
they say you can put people on and get them on and blah blah blah, but it's constantly stopping.
Yeah, I don't think this is going to. It's going to take a while for the theater. I think it's going to be a novelty. I really think it's going to be. It's going to help a little bit. Anything helps, but I really don't think this is going to be like, hey, let me just take a quick ride over to this resort to grab ice cream or grab a beer or whatever. Like the monorail takes a half hour to go around, and that's on a fixed beam, and it goes pretty quick. It's not bad. This thing is going to, I just don't see it. I'm a little negative on it right now. I'll wait to see it before I believe it. But those are a couple of things that people aren't talking about: fear of heights and accommodating all of the say strollers and wheelchairs and there's nothing wrong with that, but that's just a fact of what is done, and they're very accommodating, and it slows up the process just like it does on buses. And then there's nothing wrong with that, but it's something that you're going to have to build into your travel time, and it might be even exasperated even longer because of just how these things operate.
I feel like we're failing Bob here because our strongest things are. I'm a little bit negative on it right now.
I know.
I don't feel like we're really honoring the
Negative,
rain.
Bob? No.
We had a lot of fun.
And is that going to be a selling point? If you're buying DVC Riviera, if you're afraid of heights, that is not going to play into your thing to where if you're going to buy there. So if you're not going to take it.
Agreed.
Should have been a monorail.
It should have been.
Agreed.
Yeah, I'm all about the monorails.
All right. Well, we're
Casey, you're not alone.
going to end on a positive note.
Woohoo!
All right. This is the positive note from our great friends over at Joffrey's Coffee and Tea. Tomorrow, September
Exciting.
29th, Saturday, September 29th, is National Coffee Day. And you can get $1 coffees at all the Joffrey's kiosks in the parks and Disney Springs. If you don't want it hot, you can get iced coffee as well. $1. Just mention the fact that it is National Coffee Day.
I'm going to go book a plane ticket right now because I like it.
Tell them we said hello. So there you
Thank
go.
you, Joffrey.
Hey, I was going to mention one thing real fast. There was one thing that I was excited that I don't know if any of you saw it. Kind of hit and went, but I was really excited when I saw it. It was a Membership Magic add-on. I'm sorry, I just remembered this. They were doing for the Adventures by Disney. How many of you on this podcast would love to do an Adventures by Disney?
Oh, without a doubt.
Is that on your bucket list?
Yeah.
Let's be honest. Most of us, if we're ever going to get to do one, it's probably going to be one of the add-on deals, right? When you go on a cruise and you add a couple days, or you go, it's going to be one of those shorter weekend type ones. Well, they had a deal for DVC members where they were doing these different Adventures by Disney add-ons for cruises, etc., where they were opening them up first to DVC members for like 2 or 3 days.
Ooh.
The problem was it opened up on September 16th for DVC, and then on the 18th it opened up to the public. But those things sell out fast. And so just all I wanted to say was to those of you that are out there, when you do buy into DVC, really want to encourage you. Take time every week, every once in a while, go online and take a look, because there's a lot of things that come and go you will miss. There's things that pop up, and there's always special deals. And we're only on the podcast once a month, and sometimes we can't even get the information to you quick enough.
That's true.
So just really encourage you, be sure to go online, be checking out what's available, because sometimes really good things come along, and all of a sudden by the time you find out, they're gone or they're sold out.
And Brad, we would love to get that information out, for our programming director. Just, we just can't get everybody, can't get the time slots for it. So
Seriously. I sometimes feel like they just jam us in at the end of the month.
Joe's, he's delirious. He's on Hawaii time.
He only pays us for one episode a month. He can't afford to pay us.
Look, it's not. Hang on. It's not like. Hey. It's not like we squeeze you guys in at the very last.
Come on, right under the wire before the last day of the month.
Guys, I don't want to blow our cover, but it's 3:00 in the morning right now.
Yes, we got to try and turn this thing around.
Technically, it's still September.
The Joffrey's thing might be over with.
Never mind.
And that's why we love you guys, and we love the DVC Roundtable, because you guys are wonderful to us and very accommodating. And everybody in Looper Nation, you got to understand, these guys really, really hustle to get on the show and make time for us. And they can't.
They fight their kids. They fight floods.
They are very upset about it, unlike myself.
We are.
But anyway, they're very upset.
We are deeply wounded when we can't make it.
Love to hear from Looper Nation. Anytime we see anything on Looper Nation Live about the DVC Roundtable, I don't know about you guys, but I get ridiculously giddy.
So excited.
Oh my gosh. Sometimes people are telling me I drink too much, but that's fine.
Whatever.
Well, there's that.
I appreciate the concern.
That's their opinion and medical science. Yeah, irrelevant.
I mean, show of hands, we have literally the best group ever. Like, Looper Nation
right.
is
You can't see our hands, but they are up.
I concur. Yes.
Put your hand up.
My hand's up.
Put your hand up.
Yeah.
Can't
One
put
of
it
those
down.
halfway, like one of those kids in the back of the class going, I guess.
Hello?
Like, you know the answer. Just commit.
Speaking of people that have given us shout outs, I think we have a new looper I think he's new looper. Did we? Oh wait, maybe we did a shout out to him last time, Jim McNair. Anyway,
yeah.
Here's another shout out to him.
Here's
he said
another
really
shout
nice.
out.
Yes, love Jim.
Yeah, he said nice things about the DVC Roundtable. So
Aw.
all of you, say nice things. We'll give you shouts out.
Shouts out.
Shouts out.
That's right.
The thing.
And if you say bad things, we'll talk about you off the air.
Right. Either way,
Wow.
we'll get some press.
It's fine. You'll hear your name. It's good.
All
There you
right, Tim, before we offend everybody in
Yes.
the nation, that is all
I didn't
I've
say
got.
You'll speak when spoken to, Joe.
Loud to Joe.
You said it in Hawaiian, Joe. We heard you.
You don't talk with poi in your mouth. Anyway, Emily Hansa Hicks, where can people find you?
They can find me hanging out with Rebecca at the bar. First comes WDW, Looper Nation Live, Resort Loop Rocketeers, and now at every Cub Scout Lion event
There you go.
that has ever been made.
That's what happens.
Out with the Quintons, talking to them about DVC.
Excellent.
Excellent. Rebecca Toon, where can people find you?
Guys, I'm literally everywhere.
It's true. It's true.
Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, Looper Nation Live, Resort Loop Rocketeers, because really, guys, I have to start training.
Amen, sister. Me too.
Yeah, but I'm around. Just ask Ben. Ask Ben Fluth where I am. He'll tell you.
There you go. Brad Coates, where can people find you?
Okay, so I'm Pup Mouse One on Twitter. You can find me hanging out at Looper Nation Live, sometimes at Rocketeers, and also Diz Dad's podcast. Actively involved in the Diz Dad's community, and hopefully at home planning my next Disney trip. That's where you'll find me.
Very nice. Love the Diz Dads. And Joe, we can talk to you now. You may speak. Joe, where can people find you?
Thank you. Mahalo, Tim. You
Mahalo.
can find me over at the Resort Loop Rocketeers and over at the Mickey Dudes podcast with those cast of characters over there.
Tim, is that a bad word? He keeps saying it.
No, I think we're good. I think we're
Looking
good.
at me.
I think
It
we're
was
good.
said to me for 2 weeks straight, so...
Any other words? I'm just curious. Any other?
Keki means kids. No kekis in the adult pool area.
Is that a color of pants? Did you say khaki?
No,
I'm pretty sure.
Keike. Keki.
Keki
Oh, my
means
goodness.
kids. I actually yelled out to the lady, I was like, no kekis in the adult pool area.
We might have to edit that out. Joe, go back to your poi.
Got a floater.
Don't know what it means,
Oh.
but it sounds dirty.
Why it does sound dirty. Speaking of dirty, I'm Tim Scott. You can find me on Facebook, Twitter, the website, ResortLoop.com.
Segue.
Take it away,
us on
Bob.
Facebook, rate us on iTunes. Don't forget, hey, you guys can head over to TeePublic and,
right.
and get some Looper gear if you want to do that. And what else should folks do, Tim?
Everyone, please go out there and share the gateway to the magic.
See you, everybody.
Vacation memories will stay with you and your family for a lifetime. The Resort Loop Travel Group was created with this in mind. Our fee-free services will relieve you of the stress and confusion of finding and booking the best vacation at the best price. After booking, we will continue to monitor for ways to save you even more on your vacation. We will check for any upcoming packages and discounts to save you as many vacation dollars as possible. Resort Loop Travel Group, gateway to your magical vacation memories. Get a quote, or for more information, visit ResortLoopTravelGroup.com.
And what else should folks do, Tim?
Everyone, please go out there and share the gateway to the magic.
See you, everybody.
And see Joe on Hawaii 5-0.
See you soon.
Bob, thank
Stay in
you.
touch, everybody.
Bye, everyone.
All right. Bye, guys.
Bye.
You're
welcome.
You're welcome.
Aloha.
Bye.
Bye, guys.
Oh, my.
Mahalo.
Mahalo,
Aloha.
Joe.
Keki.
Lapu Lapu.
I don't even want to know what that meant.
It's a
See you
drink.
guys.
See ya.